You gotta play with the beard.
Gotta play with the beard. The beard stroking.
Yeah.
The
Dude, I do this a lot.
Nice.
I do this
Indeed.
all the time, dude.
As I'm just stroking my pube hairs. My peach fuzz. Good morning, Vietnam!
Yeah.
It's not we don't live in Vietnam. But good morning, the High Logical Crew. It is Thanksgiving Day. I hope everybody is having a fantastic day, start of the day.
If you guys are doing it, because I heard some families aren't getting together because the whole COVID thing.
Yeah.
And I guess they're afraid that the police might come knock down their doors or something like that. I have no idea.
We know that you have more than 11 people in there. As you guys know from our last video, as we said, we are starting a news update. So, considering that we haven't really been making videos since when we did the update of October, that we just
October?
Yeah, it was October. Long time if you didn't think about it.
Oh.
So we just kind of gathered like a bunch of news from like over the whole most of November and stuff like that. So it's kind of just more of like a news catch up, because heaven forbid that we forget about specific news that happens, and everybody else forgets about specific news that happens. But since, as I said, we have a bunch of news accumulated, so we're just kind of gonna go through each topic, and we got a lot of content just for one big news update. So
a lot of shit going on with COVID now.
Yep.
Lately.
COVID's one of the big issues. Is COVID. The other issues is fucking obviously with President Biden. President-elect Biden, Sleepy Joe, as other people would like to call him.
Sleepy
Joe. He just kind of make me want to fall asleep. Not gonna lie, listening to his press conferences, I feel like it'd be like. But all right, first start off, President-elect Joe Biden. Joe Biden wins election through state swings, 3 to 4 days certainty of a win. Was president to be elected at 78.
78, wow.
Future agenda of battling coronavirus via mask mandates, vaccine research, relief packages for citizens. He is also planning on rejoining the whole Paris Climate Accord, because I don't know why the hell we even pulled out of that thing anyway. Like, if we can't.
What is it?
The Paris Climate Accord.
What is that?
It's a big meeting that all the countries do to talk about like climate change, weather control, stuff like that, of how we are all affecting our ozone layer and stuff like that. And then pretty much just the whole thing to think about it with this is that it's like, what are the possibilities that we could have with Joe Biden becoming our president? Like, are we expecting a good like a different well-being for our country, for U.S. citizens? Are we going to be able to be having a good national sense of we're going to be okay, in a sense of well-being?
Yeah. Yeah, man, I really don't know. Like,
well, no, and of course that's the thing, nobody knows.
I try to keep up with this shit, but at the same time, I'm just like, I really don't give a fuck, Like, at the same time, but like.
Well, it's because it's like there's only so much that we can do.
I feel like so much like just like doesn't apply to me as much to things, but at the same time, it feels like it does.
Of course, it feels like you will.
It feels like it does because I live in this country.
Yeah.
So it's like, but it's like I don't know. I live in a small town.
Yeah.
Like,
See, and with small towns, all we're limited to is just idealism of each person, and then
so
just pretty much just having to deal with how everybody wants to react about it. Half of our town.
That's why I thank God I don't live like somewhere in fucking, I don't know, like a bigger city with all this shit going on.
Yeah.
And everything that happens in those cities is like, man, dude, thank God I don't live there next year.
People were all skeptical about too, like especially when Hillary when Trump and Hillary were going off against each other.
Yeah.
Everybody was worried that Hillary was going to blow us up. And honestly, I had that feeling too, because I kind of knew that our foreign relations were terrible.
Or you mean the turd sandwich and the giant douche?
Yeah, if you want to pull the South Park, the turd sandwich and the giant douche.
That's
South Park has a good relation to anything, and especially when it even comes to the ways.
Wasn't Hillary the turd sandwich?
I think so. Yeah, something like that.
Sure
All right, next. Pfizer and Moderna are the two leading companies in producing the vaccine.
For those companies.
Yeah, seeing they're not really known companies, so it's just kind of just a lot of medical research that is coming throughout like certain schools.
Have they
stuff
done
like
anything like before?
I guess I can't really say that if I looked anything up about it. I probably should have, but I haven't heard of anything about like if they've been doing previous research cases for like Zika, Ebola, or anything like that.
Okay.
But they're both stating at 90% effectiveness for working against the COVID virus, which I mean is pretty good. But at the same time, is that they've been really like slacking on trying to make sure that they have a bunch of test trials and stuff like that. And let's see, Pfizer was the one that they just asked recently for emergency use for it too. Even though they haven't really like got it all tested and stuff like that.
So they want to use it on people. Really
So they want to start using it on people so they can start combating it right away.
I don't know, man.
And and I don't really know how everybody feels about like when it comes to, like with a lot of people don't like taking vaccines, the anti-vaxxers, and then like a lot of people have cases about why they don't do it and stuff like that.
Right. Yeah.
And I mean, regardless of that, this will probably be one of those things that they'll force upon people to be taking in general. I mean, I don't really know how else.
Because then people had to take it like when the fucking H1Z1 came around, and then what else was there? The bird flu, I guess. That was going on for a while.
Yeah, and then SARS. SARS back when we were younger, that was a really big one. So I mean, it's pretty much just having to see if people are really just gonna take it or not.
It's just like getting your vaccines like you normally should. It's like not that big a deal.
Well, and especially if people are always telling you to get your flu shot, before you go see any significant others, and it's like you probably should be able to.
Some people don't, some people do, but I feel like with this COVID thing, maybe people should.
That's pretty much just the big.
Who knows? Because we really don't know if it's something serious or something that is serious but also not, or like
which COVID-19 is like super serious, but at the same time is that with all of our mixed junctions about what is happening with everything is that it's hard for everybody to portray about what they should think that they should do. And then people are fighting about their whole mask thing and stuff like that, and then the people who are taking it seriously are getting super pissed off just because that they're tired of also having to deal with COVID and stuff like that because everybody wants to go to work.
Right, and like what if they say it came from China, but like people still don't believe it's there. People believe it was this created this for the election and
the government ploy.
Yeah, so I mean we do know. We really don't know, but we do.
The skeptical people are always on the verge of constantly thinking that they know, and we are those skeptical people. This because that we are like that. All right, next topic: COVID-19. Obviously, we know that COVID-19 is becoming a very big issue. COVID-19 has been spiking everywhere.
Everything right now.
Yeah, everywhere. No matter where you go, excuse me, coronavirus. And no matter where you go, what you read online, it's always consistently just COVID-19.
You can't do anything.
You can't do a goddamn thing because everybody's locked down, mandated.
It doesn't really bother me because I don't do shit anyways. I'm going
so exactly. And
I go to work and I come home.
And especially when we're just trying to, when people just kind of stay on their whole verge of, the continuous cycle of what they do day in and day out.
It does bother me because I'm just like, well, then, I can't do this, but it's like, same time, I can't drive either, so it's like it doesn't really, I guess.
Well, I mean,
bother me.
I mean, at least we're not like Germany's on a 4-week lockdown. Did you know that?
I did read that.
They say, and they're protesting right now because they're really tired of their whole 4-week lockdown. And it's as we were saying before too, is that people are gonna want to just keep arguing about like not wearing their mask, staying inside, and all this stuff just because people are tired of this shit. We've been dealing with this since January. Well, we've been technically dealing with it since last November, but they didn't bring it out until January. So we have been dealing with it for a very, very long time.
Mostly. People also, with the whole mask thing, they say technically it doesn't work, but they say it helps a little bit, so that's why what's the word I'm looking for?
Mandate.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's the mandate.
I couldn't think of the word for some reason.
They
suggest for you to wear it, but then
most places are changing that now. So like a lot of places, like especially since half of Iowa is all now like you need to have a mask, you can't come in here. And it should be, and it's expected like that to keep happening throughout most places.
I don't really wear a mask when I go places.
But that's the thing is that it's like there's only so limited places that you really have to wear one. That it's like it's not really as bad for us since, as we were talking about earlier, we do live in a small town, so none of it really like affects us terribly. Even though that we can still.
I mean, I wear it when I go to Walmart.
Yeah, like when we gotta go to Walmart, and
when
stuff
I go
like that
into
too.
work, I wear it.
But now since like every gas station, we gotta go into one now too. And
it's a mandate for you to do
it. It is mandated here, and is mandated in a lot of other places, especially with other places getting lockdowns, new lockdowns like Chicago. Texas is hitting very high cases, so I'm sure that they're probably going to be mandated even more. Minnesota has not been doing any better either.
Oh, Minnesota's been getting worse.
Yeah, we're getting consistently worse, and then it's of course it's just various cities across throughout the entire country and then throughout the globe of like
even
Germany getting locked down for
Jackson County has a lot of cases.
Yeah, which surprisingly we do, but I mean
even around the area, fucking Cottonwood has a lot, fucking.
What's that other one? Faribault. Martin County.
Martin County. Yep. I looked on the Minnesota Health Department website and reading all the stats and like everything that they have for COVID, and it was just.
It's just countless.
Like in Jackson County for like the past, I think I don't know, for the past like few months, probably at least, it spiked up to 200 and some thousand.
Yeah.
Or some shit like that.
And that's just for southwest Minnesota, isn't it?
Yeah.
Or at least for our area.
And
anyway.
Around us, like Cottonwood and Mountain County and Faribault, some had a little bit less, but some had more.
I don't think we have 200,000 people in Jackson County, do we?
Well, no, I don't think so, but I think like
regardless,
because like Lakeville, I guess, kind of counts.
Since we have like 5 areas.
But it was something like that. It was like cases just like spike. It could not be like it could just be the same people over and over again.
And especially the same thing too is that with consistent testing, we're always going to find more and more people, and especially with the holidays rolling around, everybody's going to be trying to get tested so that they can go see their family and stuff like that. So regardless, there's always going to be new cases the more and more people go get tested, because I'm sure there's probably still plenty of people that have not gotten tested because they feel like they don't need to. Right. Especially us, we're asymptomatic carriers. Like, it's been stated like that anybody pretty much lower than 25 or lower is pretty much just nothing but a carrier. And so, like, that's why that we're the most infectious for us, because they're probably trying to make sure that we stay inside and make sure that everybody else doesn't,
I stay inside anyway.
Yeah, exactly. But, and then to pretty much continue on with all COVID, all the businesses are getting shut down. Everybody's losing jobs. Everybody's not able to go to work, and we're having to consistently
we're supposed to have
rely
a 2-week
on
shutdown here after Thanksgiving break. Apparently.
See, and I've actually been talking to a lot of people about that, and nobody that I know has ever heard of anything about it.
Yeah, I've been hearing a lot at work too about it, though. The people have been saying that.
Yeah, see, but it's just been people have been saying
that Tim Walz, the governor of Minnesota, is saying that there was going to be a 2-week lockdown.
Well, seeing we're just going to have to supposedly see what's going to happen. Then more people are just going to have to not show up to work.
Yeah,
and then obviously with. Then it's pretty much just has to work with other people working on, COVID relief. That's about it. And half the time that's even if we're going to be able to get any, just because that, me personally, I've not gotten my stimulus check. And I know a lot of other people that haven't even been getting the first one. They've been talking about new ones, I know.
They've been talking about that since ever Trump released the first one. I don't think it's
going to happen, it's really just all
people are like, did you hear about news about the stimulus check? 'Cause I'm just like, yeah.
But I swear to God, I see an article on it almost at least every week.
Yeah, we're not gonna get it.
Yeah,
dude.
And then
especially with this old fart in the office now, he probably forgot already. He probably forgot his password to enter the Oval Office. If there is a password to enter it, I don't know.
It's probably his passwords just so he can remember it. and then
sniffing children. That's his password.
The fact that it has become a popular meme is beyond me.
Oh God, that shit's funny.
Yeah, and then I guess the last thing that we do about it is just what
speaking
is
of
affected.
that, sorry, I seen that when Halloween was around. I seen a picture on Facebook. A mom had her little daughter that said on her shirt said like Sleepy Joe, and then like you know how in The Office Michael Scott had like his own face on it. That's what she had on his daughter like Joe Biden right there, and I was like, oh, that is so funny, but so terrible.
That's funny. And then do you want to talk about COVID with sports?
Oh yeah, that shit is just stupid, honestly.
I know nothing. I know nothing about this.
The NFL fucking sucks with that shit because obviously we don't get the Steelers and Ravens game because they canceled it and put it on Sunday. So now we get fucking. There's 2 games today, shitty fucking games. Like no one wants gonna watch. It's the Lions and the fucking Washington facing each other. Like who the fuck wants to watch that game?
I mean, I enjoy watching the Lions play sometimes.
You know, so but especially like kind of just Washington football team. Wow, great name.
COVID relating to sports.
No, because and the Steelers, some Steelers players are pissed off because obviously teams can't get their COVID shit in hand.
Yeah, a lot of teams
they just don't care, you know. But if the NFL did it the way that the NBA did it when the playoffs started, well, when they restarted the season and they just kind of started into the playoffs, they did fine. You know, they all stayed in Florida. They all lived at a place and they were all like had their own rooms. They couldn't go anywhere and they had to stay in their own area, and it was fine. No one got anything. And if they had people like even in NBA and when they're in the bubble, some of their families couldn't come.
Mm-hmm.
And if they did, they would get fined.
Really?
Like, yeah.
What?
Because there's some players that got fined because a booty call came too.
Oh.
You know, so like some of them got fined for shit like that, and but you know the NFL is just not doing really good with this whole COVID thing.
Well, they have more players that they have to manage than the NBA does, don't they? Because don't they have like 50 to 60 players on like one team?
Yeah,
it's
a
where, like,
53,
NBA has like
53-man roster,
and then like NBA has
like
what, maybe 20 people,
some shit like that. I don't know.
So I mean, it's like like when you got 60 people to manage, I can understand. But at the same time, is that it's like I understand that like even with like
but they didn't
34
like,
strings,
they didn't even like come in and like say, oh, we're gonna do this differently. All they said was like, oh, you know, no fans, but you know some fans and this and that. But like you're not really doing anything to keep the players under control too. Like yes, I get it. You know they're over it too and they just want to play, but it's like. If you want to keep playing and keep the season going, you're going to have to
take it seriously.
Take it seriously with the restrictions that they're going to give you.
Exactly.
So,
you know, and that even fits perfectly.
Because they're not for the Pro Bowl thing, they're not even doing that this year. You know how they're doing it? They're having them face each other on Madden.
Well, see,
what kind of fucking shit is that? That's the dumbest thing ever.
NBA did that too. You know, they even did. Remember how they were doing that to like, even though it wasn't considered their official season, but at the same time as that they were still gonna do it regardless.
Yeah, but they did like because they did still their NBA All-Star. No, they didn't do that this year. No, they did. I'm pretty sure they did.
The NBA All-Star game.
Yeah, they did that this year. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I remember them doing that.
Yeah. That was before like this whole COVID thing got out of control, I guess you would say.
Out of control. That's what everybody wants to say, that it's out of control.
I don't know.
But regardless, you know, with COVID, you know, just be smart about it. Make sure that you're at least being thoughtful, I'd say, around to the people. You know, like, if you don't want to wear your mask, that's completely fine. It's completely your choice.
Stay 6 feet away.
It's just, you know, just follow the other regulations if you don't want to wear your mask, and I think you'll be okay. Just don't cough on anybody. And I'll just make sure just to look at my hand and just press it on my face.
Yeah, don't do that to, like, an old lady. You'll kill her right then and there.
Yeah, they might die. All right. So off to now we're on to the other news section, since we got most of the big news out of the way. The maker of OxyContin, Purdue, has pleaded guilty to contributing to the opioid crisis, and they've had to pay hella millions in fines and all this other stuff just for their whole contribution, which I think it is really awesome that a company that has really taken into consideration that they are part of the opioid crisis to be like, all right, I give up, you know, is that it's like the opioid crisis, we've been dealing with this for years and years and years and years, since like almost 60 plus years. And, you know, with it, when it comes to legalization of like harder drugs and like Oregon and stuff like that, is that kind of gives it a little bit more incentive, I feel, for people in Oregon, is to kind of be like, hey, you know, I can just kind of just do this whatever, just because it's legal heroin, and that's what Oxycontin is. So it's like they can either just go to Oregon if they want to do the illegal stuff, you know, or we pretty much just got
I don't suggest you to do heroin, but
like even for specific pills, you know,
if that's what you want to do, I guess.
All power to you. All power to you. We
sure.
can't, you know, we can't control your decisions, but at the same time, is that it's at least still cool that they're at least taking up their actions to know that they are guilty.
Did they also legalize mushrooms?
We'll get to that.
Yeah.
Next, people, if you don't know who Michael Flynn is, Michael Flynn was a previous national security agent for back in, I think, the beginning of the Trump administration. Trump has fully pardoned him for any of his things that he has pleaded guilty when it comes to communicating with Russia during the election. Now, the only reason why I put this one in is just because it really, this really shows the power that you can have of being president or anything like that, just to kind of get your friends out of the ditch. You know, like, I'm just gonna grab you and put you over here. Make sure you gotta stay over here on this side. You know, gotta make sure you're not right next to me. So, take it as it is. You know, it is important, but at the same time, you know, take it as you will. Apple is also paying all their people is settling specific allegations $113 million based on the whole battery performance and the battery life and the performance. They're like paying people for it because they were originally sued for, you know, like purposely saying that they're slowing down their phones. You know, and
I did hear about that.
And now they're finally giving out a bunch of money for it just so that they can settle those specific allegations, which I think. I
noticed my phone was slow.
Yeah, you know, and everybody notices that their phone slows up after like the iPhone 13 comes out and like.
All the porn, but you know, it's could be. I don't know.
Maybe not. You know, you never know, buddy.
Viruses, man.
Viruses. I don't think iPhone can get viruses.
I don't know.
I mean, they probably can because it's any other technology, but I know that there's some specific protection that they have against getting viruses compared to like Windows phones. So, Apple 1, Microsoft 0. Next, California 24 has California Prop 24. I don't know what the hell that was supposed to go on about. But Prop 24 is an increased privacy online that California is settling for their citizens. Now, this may not apply to other people that don't live in California, but people who do live out of California, this can affect you later on. Because, you know, privacy has become a really big thing online with people sharing information with each other, companies selling customer info to other companies just so that they can make sure they have it on their track records and stuff like this. So this will really possibly improve for how we possibly see privacy in the future. Because we all know that we don't like to get tracked or watched.
Yeah, Mark Zuckerberg.
We're talking about you, Mark Zuckerberg.
Fucking alien, dude. He's not.
He does kind of look like an alien.
He's not. No, he is not human.
Dude,
he's not.
Dude, I'm
human.
gonna put up a picture of Mark Zuckerberg and then an alien, and then we'll see the comparison.
A comparison of a picture of real Mark Zuckerberg and a wax version of Mark Zuckerberg. You know how people do like wax
like wax figures and stuff?
Yeah. Literally, the wax figure looked more real than him. You could just tell, because, like, have you just not looked at his skin?
What?
It just, like, looks like, it's so, like, looks
moist,
fake.
Moist.
It looks like it's
very
just
shiny and glossy.
Yes.
I mean, it does make sense. You look at him in some of his, you look at him in his whole lawsuit thing
with Facebook.
Yeah.
What happened a couple years ago, and him speaking at the he's not human, dude. Yeah. He is not human.
He's
no.
not human.
He was created in a laboratory or something. He is not human.
All right. Next, newest drug laws in Oregon and throughout the entire country. Many states of South Dakota Mississippi, Arizona, and I want to say like New Hampshire, something like that.
No, New Jersey.
New Jersey. My bad. Actually, I do have it written down. Hold on.
New Jersey, Arizona.
Where are you?
No, not Michigan.
Okay.
Montana.
Yep. Montana, New Jersey, Arizona, South Dakota. All have legalized recreational. What the fucking do? Go to those states. Mississippi and South Dakota, medicinal.
Where you at, Minnesota? Where you at?
Where you at, Iowa and Minnesota? Where you guys at? We're surrounded by pretty much almost everybody that has legal states, and yet here we are. You still want to...
Fucking Iowa's gonna legalize fucking meth before you legalize.
Dude, honestly, I would... If that happens, dude...
Oh,
that would be stupid. You know, because Iowa already has a terrible problem.
Yeah,
with their whole thing, especially Sioux City. They are bad right now.
Even here in Jackson.
And see, everywhere, no matter where you go, regardless, you can't avoid hard drugs. It is a thing that is completely
You might not think it's really big here in Jackson, but it is, people.
See, and like when you're younger, you know, you get a different outlook to where it's like, you know, they tell you like don't do drugs, you know.
Yeah.
But then you really take into consideration about what is in our whole community, and it's everywhere. No matter what city you go in, it's everywhere.
That poor lion from the fucking the drug thing from when
the DARE lion.
When we learned it as a kid.
Yeah.
I feel bad for him, man. We all let him down.
we as a country have definitely let him down. Next in the whole drug thing would be like Oregon and their legalization of mushrooms. They are the first state to legalize mushrooms. And the decriminalization of hard drugs.
For medical use.
Shrooms for medical use. But yes, hard drugs. That means that if you get caught with a small amount of meth or heroin in Oregon, they are going to give you a ticket and nothing else.
I'm sure it's like probably a gram or less.
I looked it up. It's like a couple grams of each.
Yeah.
But you know, and like with that thing that there's only
you can't go walking around with a whole
ounce
bag of fucking meth or heroin because you're gonna go to prison. So.
Well, honestly, me personally, I think that it is a con. Like I do know the pros because the only pro of this is just because that with the decriminalization is that it'll kind of give this whole sense to where it's like, you know, people do drugs to feel like on top of the world, cool, because they know that it's illegal, people are going to do it, you know? So like, in like Europe has this whole thing to where they have a majority of all of them decriminalized just so people that don't have to feel like they need to be like somewhat pressured to do it, because that's what the whole kind of thing is when it comes to hard drugs, is the pressure. And so then with this, it'll kind of ease a statement of, do I really need to go do this just because it's, you know, it's legal, you know? But at the same time, the biggest con is that if it's telling people that the decriminalization of hard drugs, like, it's giving more people a reason to use meth or heroin because they know they can walk around with a gram with it and not have any consequences with it besides just getting a ticket, a misdemeanor ticket for a hard Schedule 1 to Schedule 2 drug.
That's really crazy to think about, yeah.
You know, and so like there's only so many pros and cons that can really be good about it
It's like a meme I saw. It was like a lady in a restaurant, and it says like Oregon, hey, I would like a Pepsi, please. Oh, we only have Coke. Oh, I'll take a gram of that too, you know.
And a Pepsi. Yeah, you know, it's just crazy. It's just gonna. I feel like it just kind of is just gonna give more people an incentive to do it. And honestly, it's like, what's the whole point of decriminalizing it if people are just gonna go out and do it anyway? You know, more increased money that we all have to pay just to make sure that we're putting them in jail and stuff like that, or giving them rehab or stuff like that. No, that's stupid. And then the very last thing, around the time when Joe Biden was elected, around maybe like November 5th, November 6th, after the, you know, like the whole 3 to 4 day wait of having to make sure that he was a certainty winner, there was talks, the possibility of people
still
wanting to. Yeah, you know, and the thing is still going on too, with Trump still trying to push that whole barrier. But people were talking about trying to get rid of the Electoral College around the time. Yeah, for like the Electoral College for like their votes and stuff like that. I mean, me personally, since I'm not a politician, I can't really say personally if this would be a good idea or a bad idea. I mean, I do understand the whole people's reasoning where it's like, you know, you go by vote. why should it be to where however many votes gets you this many electoral points to go towards that person who's winning, you know? And so it's like I feel like it's just a bunch of extra steps that we feel like we have to do to vote, but at the same time, if it does make it a better system instead of having to gather 300 million to 500 million votes throughout the entire country, you know, then it's like
electoral colors. That's what they go off of anyway. To win, right?
Yeah, it's like we pay the way that I was explained, at least to it anyway, was that like we vote. The votes go to the people who represent our state, and then it's kind of like
they want them to go off of popular votes, don't they?
You know, which I could agree,
because it's like they always have complications and controversy with these electoral college votes every year.
See, but at the same time, though, is that with popular vote, imagine how much of that could be influenced, though.
Because like in 2016 with popular vote, if they were going to popular vote with Clinton,
Hillary would have technically won,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, but the thing is, though, you got to think about that when it comes to, you know, doing that. Is that it's like it's more easy to influence people.
What about back when fucking Obama and Mitt Romney he was going against in 2008 when he was becoming.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I don't know who would have won between now and because that was like.
Well, and then especially with the whole thing of a recount too. You know, like the last time we ever had anything like that was with Al Gore and Bush. You know, and then
every time I think of Al Gore,
we don't need to bring up more South Park. You know, we all know Man Bear Pig is real. We're super serial.
Super serial, guys.
Cereal.
You just
super
don't
cereal.
believe me. I'm super serial.
For real.
Oh, dude. God, honestly, I had no idea who Al Gore was until I seen South Park.
I could probably say the same thing.
I had no idea who the fuck
especially
he was.
Especially since we,
apparently he was the vice president for Bill
Clinton, I think.
Bill Clinton?
I think so. I could be wrong. I don't know. But yeah, it's crazy to think that it's like, like when we're younger, like all we knew was Bush. Like we never know anything about anything else besides of who was our president, when we were
I know
5 or 6 years old.
Yeah, I know but at 5 at least when I was 4 or 5, Bush was president still.
Yeah.
Right?
Because
Bush became president
Bush was president until 2008.
And he became
president in like 2000.
2000, because before that he was Bill Clinton, right?
It was Clinton.
And then before that it was his dad.
Was his dad,
And then before that it was that Jimmy Carter?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah? The peanut guy?
Yeah. No, not the peanut guy. You're close, though. All right, next segment. We're done with most of the political and other stuff. We're doing arrests, frauds, shootings, and deaths. A lot of stuff have happened in 2020. I thought it couldn't get any worse, but apparently people just want to be dumb. First,
people just like shooting each other.
October 31st, Halloween. A Toronto man dresses in medieval armor and stabs 2 and kills 2 people with a sword. That's not funny. I know, the medieval armor is definitely a throw off, but at the same time, it's like...
I had to laugh, man. It's just a weird situation to do.
It is a weird situation to talk about, but that's odd. And especially on Halloween, is that it's like, what, is that guy legitimately just dressed out in full armor, drunk as fuck, and decides like, I'm gonna stab 4 people, see what's up. That's the only conclusion that I have of that goddamn fucking thing. Next, multiple gunmen near a synagogue and shooting kill multiple people in Austria. This is around November 3rd, I'd say. Austria. It's people are thinking that it's a religious attack because it was near a synagogue, and most of the Austrian and all that, most of them are Jewish.
That's the first time I've ever heard that country in a while.
Yeah, most people, you don't really hear of Austria except like World War II. That's really the biggest thing that people know of Austria. Next, gunman at Afghan University kills 19 people. This is probably around, I'd say, November 4th or 5th.
Was it a terrorist attack?
No, they didn't really specifically say if it was a terrorist attack. It might have just been a specific person.
The stereotype right there.
Yeah, but but it's like most are considered terrorist attacks.
Yeah.
People don't know, and especially with. We've been having to deal with that a lot lately, especially when,
See, I really haven't heard much about terrorist attacks lately.
Yeah, which I don't know if that's just because that's kept them down, though, because we're distracted by COVID and the election.
So maybe is that why,
Maybe we don't hear about it? Yeah, you never know.
I don't know. I actually have not heard about ISIS in a while.
Yeah.
What are they up to? What are you guys up to nowadays?
And hopefully not acting. That's hopefully what they're not doing. Next, shooting at a Sonic in Bellevue, Nebraska, with 4 people suffering gunshot wounds, with 2 dying, going to the hospital. Shooter was arrested for arson and murder, and it was originally called in as a bomb threat. That is just, I seem like, is way too many steps to make it to where you have to call in as a bomb threat, and then all of a sudden it just turns into a shooting. You know?
So originally it was a bomb.
It originally was called into a bomb threat, and people saw smoke coming from it, but it must have been like he started a fire or something, and then that.
What did you do that for? Was there a reason?
There was no explained reasoning, and I'm sure it doesn't really matter considering that he was arrested and all that stuff.
There is never a reasoning with these people.
And that's the thing
and
too.
I want to know. After it's done and the news is there, like why can't the news reporter just go and hey, why'd you decide to shoot these people?
Well, and I'm sure I'm sure if you look up some of these things, they'll probably tell you, but more or less usually when they're just giving it out right away, usually when they get arrested right away, they usually don't explain why. They're just he's arrested, arson and murder, bam, done, gone,
I would just like to know, the reasoning why.
Yeah. See, I mean, that's the thing too, is that I'm sure everybody would like a good reasoning about for why half of these things fucking happen, So that's the thing. An intense arrest of a guy with 5 to 6 officers pinning, tasing, and hitting him puts him on administrative leave with a running investigation. And if I remember right, I think this is in Kansas with that recent shooting that happening of that one guy. I can't remember his name specifically, but that did happen recently, and I think it was in that exact same town. A Harvard coach was arrested for taking bribes of up to $1.5 million to get students in.
Wow.
Yeah. And this kind of goes along with that whole thing about that one celebrity chick that got in trouble for it.
With the college thing?
With the college thing, yeah.
Oh, yeah. That happened a few years ago, right?
Yeah, but it's still pending right now.
Yes, I know because it was like for her son or her kid to get into school or some shit. Yeah, I know who you're talking about. I know exactly what you mean.
And it's like, and I feel like if it really just comes to that point, it's like, just tell your kids to do better if you want. But it's like, don't be forcing them to go into schools they don't want to. If you want them to get into an Ivy League school, maybe you should prep them to be doing that instead of just like. I don't mean yeah, it's like if they can't handle it, they can't handle it. So there's no reason to pressure them.
They're not smart like that. At the end of the day, that's all right.
There's no reason just to kind of be doing like that. Yes, you may have the money, but the thing is that it's gonna come back and bite you in the ass. Yeah, it's a high league it's a high end Ivy League school. There's no way in hell they're not gonna figure it out.
Bribing, isn't that technically still like kind of
fraud? Money fraud.
Yeah, I thought so.
Next, TikTok unban is looking good unless if it comes to a point to where they find any more reasons to have to take it off. This whole TikTok thing, I get it. But it's just another reason for us, I feel anyway, for us to have to go fight with another country because some guy in China made it, It's like, I get it, and I get it, especially when it comes to even the safety of our own citizens, that we're not wanting to make sure that we're not giving out our personal info and stuff like that, which TikTok does. But TikTok has been an influencer for our society since a whole year, almost 2 years. So it really it really just shows, it's just that it's like, the celebrity fame on TikTok is ridiculous. And I get it that even to the point to where it's like a lot of people are really open about sharing some personal info on TikTok. So it's like, obviously be smart and be safe about it and don't do anything stupid. It's the same thing for online safety, if you want to consider it like that. Like, back in 5th grade when you're finally getting on the Wi-Fi, make sure you're not looking up anything that's not meant for you to view. Are you 18? No, then leave. Even though that we all don't freaking agree to that anyway.
I always said I was 18.
Especially when they make you say that you're 13 or 16 on Disney and stuff like that. Are you old enough to be on DisneyChannel.com? Yeah. Why wouldn't I be old enough to go on?
Permission.
Yeah, parents' permission to go on Disney.com.
I just said yes because it's like all I wanted to do was play some Kim Possible games or whatever games it was on there.
Yep, exactly. I'm 12 and I want to play RuneScape even though I'm only supposed to be 16 technically playing RuneScape. But who the hell listens to that? Next, Lil Wayne is convicted of firearm possession of something that happened last year, but he's possibly facing 10 years of prison time.
Fucking
dumb, ridiculous. I saw a whole thing too to where people even think that it's a whole thing about him being a Trump supporter. that's why he got labeled, or that's why he got pointed out for it, because apparently they let him on through the airport when they found him. So, take it as you will, but at the same time is that it's like, why would they ignore it in the first place if they're just going to bring it back later? Is it a type of blackmail, per se?
Come on, man. Like, dude, you're rich. You can pay people.
But
you can pay people to protect you, man.
But we just talked about that, though. What is that? Money fraud. That's the thing, is that it's like some of that stuff does come bite them in the ass.
Like, you can pay people to protect you. You can pay party guards.
Lawyer of former NFL player DeAndre Baker and Quentin Dunbar is arrested for extorting their statements of armed robbery, if I remember right. Just another thing of just, lawyers trying to freaking just get a quick buck out of it. That's the only reason why they were trying to extort their statements
fucking
in the first
lawyers,
place.
Man.
That's the thing, is that it's like, how, like, you'd really think that since you're, a little bit of a celebrity, or, you have variety, that you'd get a good lawyer that doesn't want to, like, fucking pinch your balls and twist them.
they're not very trustworthy.
No, they're not. They're not. Lawyers are shady.
Very.
Very shady. 2 people were stabbed outside a church in San Jose, California. This wasn't really told to be a religious attack or anything like that. The church allows homeless people to come in, so they were thinking that it was just a bunch of homeless people fighting each other. The last part of this whole arrests, frauds, deaths, shootings, and all that stuff, in remembrance, all affected prior, every single person that has died, all their families, stay high, make sure that you keep your head high, think of them. In remembrance of Alex Trebek, former Jeopardy host. He had died at 80 of pancreatic cancer, I think, if I remember right. Texas rapper MO3, he got shot recently, I'd say November 14th-ish.
Oh, and
around there.
Chicago rapper King Von.
And Chicago rapper King Von.
Yeah, I mean, people are not very happy with that right now.
No, yeah, Quando Rondo is under a lot of fire about that right now.
Right now, yes.
And we'll see how that goes.
Because they're all, they're all from Chicago.
Yep.
They're all from, like, around the same area. Because it's, like, literally, like, how I've been told. Because it still has to do with this whole shooting and death of another Chicago rapper that happened a couple months ago, of the name by FBG Duck. It still has to do a bunch with that. Because they're all, like, from the same area in Chicago, like the same blocks, but like a block away from each other. It's just a whole fucking gang war, like, between them. And it, from what happened with the King Von shootings, I know it was outside of it was in Atlanta, outside of a hookah smoke shop, like, where you just sit there and shit like that, and all you see is King Von going up to the car and then, or something like that, and he gets shot, and then there's also 2 undercover cops there too that were part of the shooting.
Really?
That shot 2 of King Von's friends there also.
Damn. That's crazy.
But then you don't really get to see what happens to Quando and where he went, but he's under a lot of fire right now with people from Chicago, and everyone's, trying to get him to shoot. I mean, people are trying to shoot him, honestly, right now.
Yeah.
I'm trying to look for him to shoot him, but he's in hiding pretty much.
It's crazy of how fast some of that stuff can escalate. It is. Turns to a point to where it's just like, all of a sudden something happens and bam, you're the one that's also trying to get targeted next.
They diss this person, that's how it's...
See, but I even heard some stuff too that it wasn't even half of Quando Rondo, that it was just some of his team just going out of their own way to act.
Yeah, it was
and
pretty
that's
much.
And that's
because
the thing
it
too,
wasn't actually him who shot him.
Yeah.
It was one of his, like, team, like, his friends that shot King Von. But he was there when it happened. He was part of the altercation. So people are pissed off at him about it.
See, that's the thing that happens, that it's just like, people are really fast at picking up a gun, and shooting people that they feel like is just the opposition. The gang violence is terrible when it comes to, like, with a lot of these rappers that are coming up that have been, through all this stuff of, like, a good example would be, like, Snoop Dogg. Throughout when Snoop Dogg was coming up, he was still dealing with, gun violence, freaking gang members, convictions, and a bunch of other stuff.
He was dealing with that conviction of murder of the person that they said they shot, but he never shot.
Yep. You know, and it just comes to show that
it was his manager who shot and killed him.
Oh damn, that's even crazier. You know, it just comes to show just like of how quick like this stuff can really be still influenced, even if they're possibly even not even involved with half that stuff anymore.
And then like like Gabe said, Texas rapper MO3 passed away, and at his funeral, another rapper, his good friend Boozy Badass, was at his funeral, and his funeral got shot up. Boozy Badass got shot in the leg at his funeral. So
terrible things, man. Terrible things.
Yeah, man.
2020 does not fail to disappoint.
Let's see what 2020.
We still got good things. Good things. One of the creators of the Ice Bucket Challenge, the Ice Bucket Challenge was a whole charity event for ALS. I can't specifically remember what ALS is on the top of my head right now, but it's like it's like something that has to do with like your muscles or your nervous system or something like that. I feel, maybe I could be wrong, probably, but he was also battling ALS at the same time too while he came up with this Ice Bucket Challenge, and so that is actually heartfelt condolences for having to battle it while also starting a charity event to make sure that people notice. And I'm sure this will probably be the same thing. And then last but not least, Sean Connery, the almighty G, James Bond, Indiana Jones. He died.
When did he die?
Also Halloween. So, yeah.
I don't remember hearing about that.
Yeah, not a lot of people did.
You think that you would?
Yeah, especially Sean Connery, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, Sean Connery. I'm funny, I swear to God. Please don't delete me. All right, next section, games and media. We are this is our shit, like our sprinkled on.
Where the PS5's at?
Where the PS5's at, Sony? I want my PS5.
God damn it! I want my PS5.
I want my PS5. I don't want the Xbox. I'm sure it's probably cool, but I don't want the Xbox. All right.
I want the router-looking system.
Yeah, I want the Wi-Fi router, man. They should do a redesign of where it's a Wi-Fi router. I'm not even kidding you. I would buy that PlayStation.
It really looks like one.
The gaming industry is on fire, a hot streak with hella promises of tons of content, expectations, and all-out fun. The PS5 and the Xbox One Series X are blowing fans away with some things coming out on bottom. What is coming out on bottom? Mostly Xbox right now. PlayStation 5 has really high demands and high expectations and performance rates. I'm not going to go anything about the whole deal to where if you go buy an Xbox, go buy a PlayStation, PS5 is better, Xbox is better. I don't care. You play what you play. You play what you play. This whole gaming war feud is dumb. We're a gaming community. We just need to be celebrating of what we do best. We're all adults here. We're all and I understand that it's like we do got our 10-year-olds that are playing Fortnite and stuff like that, but we need to come together as gamers and stop fighting with each other about what is better, because it's all about what you play. Yes, PS2 and Xbox, the original Xbox, that was a big thing, the 360 and the PS3, but it's like we've been dealing with this head on for years and years to come,
I still don't care, but I still believe that, Sony is just superior over Microsoft no matter what still.
But at the same time Microsoft is also ahead because, they make PlayStations, they are the computer gurus, so it's I see where Xbox is.
Yeah, no, I see that, but
PlayStation is also there too because, and then people even want to forget about Nintendo. If you want to, you got PlayStation and Xbox, Nintendo's right fucking here right here because they're the head honchos.
Nintendo's above PlayStation.
Yeah, regardless
Sony
is that it's like
Microsoft,
Nintendo should always have the notoriety because they were the first ones. They have broke the game changers over games for years and years and years and years and years.
You had the original Nintendo.
The original Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Nintendo 64, the Wii, the Wii U, the Switch. The Switch is so fucking awesome.
Well, forget about the Wii U. That was disappointing.
The Wii U, yeah.
But
terrible.
But then also it's like, with Sony, you had the classic PlayStation 1.
PlayStation.
And then the
PSP.
And then the greatest PS2.
Yeah.
Oh,
and how long the PS2 was a thing? A long time. But the thing
is, though, if Sony didn't release the PSP at the time it did and released it around this time, I bet it'd be way more successful than it was.
It would.
Because it was ahead of its time.
Yeah,
definitely. People are gonna say that.
Honestly, I actually heard a lot of speculation or a lot of people say that people didn't like the PSP.
But I heard a lot of people said that the PSP would have been better if it came around this time
You know,
too.
you gotta, but we were also going around the time with like, you know, Game Boys, you know, DSs, you know, like, like Sony had to put something out, you know, because Xbox is pretty much the only thing that doesn't have a handheld, just because that they have, you know, they have PC. That's what they got.
I forgot about Game Boys. That's another thing when Nintendo comes in.
Can't forget about
the
Game Boys.
The Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Color, the Game Boy Advance SP, the Game Boy Micros, those little, dude,
those things were awesome.
Everything.
But to go back to PS5. PS5 has been leading expectations with sales, performance, and mostly possible customization via internal and external. You know, their PS5 is in talks of having be able to customize your own SSD slot to where you can have even more increased storage than our original 1 terabyte.
Yeah,
it's actually like 156 gigabytes because they really like to Jew you on that 150.
I heard fucking PS5 hard drive. Literally, if you have Warzone pretty much just downloaded, it takes up half the hard drive already.
See, and I've heard it takes up seen that they did do a lot of data shrinks, so I'm sure that's probably a little bit fixed now. But that is the one thing that still worries me even to this day, even with my PS4, is that I have an external hard drive, but it only gets you so far. You know, and that's the thing, is that with all these different games, you know, like people are just like, oh, just go. Yeah, exactly, same. But, you know, people are just like, go digital, you know, but the thing is, for me, I like hard copies. I know that I have that hard copy in my hand, it's mine, and nobody can do it, and I can even third-party sell it if I want. You know, when you buy a digital, you're buying rights. You know, you're only buying it just because you can buy it on the service. It isn't technically yours.
Most of the time I buy digital games, but when I'm at a store where I can buy games, and I see a game, I'm going to pick up the hard copy.
If it's a game that I know that I want for a hard copy, I'm going to pick it up. But if it's a game that I've played over years and years, you know, because they have a bunch of remasters and re-editions, you know, fuck it. I'll just buy it on the PlayStation. It doesn't really bother me. Xbox has been a little bit on the bottom just with specific technical issues of inserting games, injecting games, shutting down for over after a couple hours of play. Yeah, if you want to be like that, like us.
People vaping.
People are vaping in their Xbox to say that it's setting on fire. You know, but even the vaping itself is actually ruining their system because they want to do some stupid shit like that. You know, PS5 isn't any different with the release. They had a lot of download bugs, specific updates and stuff like that. So it's like, you know, it's always expected with these systems that they're always gonna have problems. You know, people are just like, oh, you know, I'm paying $600 for this. I expect this. No, this is exactly why I wait, because I want to see how they perform.
I mean, if I could have got one right away, I probably would have.
Yeah, exactly. But the thing is, with you have to pre-order, you know, that limits it. And you know, and the thing is too that even made it really hard is that bots have been buying out a bunch of PlayStations online, and that's half the time why you can't find one online is because a bunch of bots are buying them, and then they're selling them. People are buying them with buying the bots buy them, and then the third party sellers sell them for like $1,200.
You guys are assholes.
Yeah, you guys are fucking assholes. Yeah, just so you know. To continue on, Xbox is planning on releasing a TV app to where you will not need to have a system where you can legitimately just go on your smart TV, hook up your controller, bam, play all your new Xbox games. Pretty dope. I'm not gonna lie.
What?
Yeah. But
you can play games without the Xbox.
Yep.
What's the whole point of even making Xboxes? And
see, same.
Where do you put the disc?
You buy it all digitally, all of it. It's like an Amazon Fire Stick. Legit, you'd plug it in to your smart TV, and there would just be a hub of like your lobbies and all your games that you got digitally downloaded. It might maybe connect to your physical system. You know, if you got a disc in there, maybe you might be able to get to play it. You know, so who knows? But that's the whole lead on it.
I don't like it.
And neither do I. Kind of, it defeats the whole purpose.
It's gonna be a downfall for them, I think.
Yeah.
A really big downfall.
I see, and especially when it comes to, you know, they're already kind of minorly struggling and trying to sell their systems anyway. You know, so it's like, what's the point of hurting it even more if you can't even do that? Maybe later on down the line, you know, go for it.
But I came up with that idea.
Yeah, but I think now is not a good time to be doing that. No.
You're shit right now.
Yeah, for real. Big updates for specific games. Call of Duty Cold War new season comes out December 10th. GTA 5.
Game.
Yeah, fix your game, Call of Duty. GTA 5 has a new heist, new island, all that stuff coming December 10th or 15th. Among Us is getting...
Give us GTA 6, dude. We don't want no updates already.
Dude, no.
We want GTA 6.
No, me and Noah were actually talking about this, is that if they can make DLC to where they make new islands, seriously bet that they won't make GTA 6 for another 2 years. We won't even hear about it for another 2 years.
It's already been fucking...
4.
GTA 5's been out long.
No, I'm saying that GTA 6 has been in the talks for 4 years.
Oh, I was going to say...
Yeah, GTA 5 has been out since 2013.
That's what, 8 years?
Yeah. 8 years. 8 years January.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, and that game is still popping.
Oh, God.
Because and then continuing on with Rockstar. Rockstar has promised a bunch of backwards compatibility with all the previous games of all the Grand Theft Autos, Bully, Red Dead Online, Red Dead Nightmare, all those other different games. Didn't they do a Bully 2 or talking? They're talking about doing a Bully 2, so we can expect a lot of Rockstar content here in the future. And I'm excited for that because I can't wait to play Liberty Stories again. And San Andreas. Among Us...
You can get San Andreas in the PlayStation Store.
You can, but it still looks like 2000.
Oh, they're gonna
it still looks so. It looks so bad. No, they're planning on like possibly remastering it.
Oh.
So it might actually look really good if they do that. Yeah.
I like that.
Among Us, big update, colorblind filter, new maps, all this other stuff. It's not really anything huge, but Among Us is a really big game happening right now.
Yes.
We legitimately the first time we got it, we played for 6 hours straight, and we bought it at like 11 o'clock at night, and we played till like 5 in the morning just playing Among Us.
Yeah, and I bought like 2 like.
Yep, and then he bought like
$3 to go right
2
away.
pets. Yep, 2 pets.
Yeah, I was like, because I haven't played in a while, but I've been wanting to play the Among Us. Yeah.
Same. To continue on with games, Spider-Man Miles Morales has scored a 9 out of 10 on IGN. Assassin's Creed Valhalla is looking very promising for content for the game.
I heard that game looks really.
It looks
good.
Beautiful. No, I have seen a lot of stuff on it. It is legitimately probably one of the most best Assassin's Creed games that I have seen. People want to make a whole big speculation. Oh, it's not the original Assassin's Creed. We're past that. I don't want to, we don't need to keep fighting about this. It's the same thing as like the system war. Is that like, if you can't appreciate new games, don't play them. It's simple as that. It's like people have all this big outlook before a game comes out, and they're just like, that game looks trash. How do you know if you're not even gonna play it though?
Like with people with every Call of Duty every year.
Yeah, it's like people are like, oh, this Call of Duty looks trash, but yet they're gonna buy it anyway. Like people just have.
I do the same thing. I say like, oh, this is stupid. I hate this, but I still play it.
Because we find that middle ground to where we know that it's like, dude, like we're still playing what we love to play, but at the same time is that we have we have bigger expectations for stuff that happens, and especially since we've been playing COD for so many years that like we know what they need to be changing and what they shouldn't be changing, but we have to patiently wait for that because new games require time to make. Next, Bethesda relieves fans of not taking away games from PC or Nintendo or PlayStation. Bethesda was bought out by Microsoft. People were worried that Bethesda was only just going to be specifically Microsoft based. Only thing that Microsoft says is that the games that they will be releasing in the future from Bethesda will just be better graphics and better performance wise on Xbox. The only thing I hope for this is that they just don't leave the other systems in the dark of just giving them games and then not fixing them. Perfect example, Fallout 76. Trash game when it came out, but it's perfect now. They have a whole new quest line and all this other stuff for a game that they update. Yes, it took a year and a half, but at the same time is that it's like it's nice to know that they're still remembering games that are coming better.
For another game, there was an update for the Avengers game.
Actually, hold on to that. We'll get to that just in a second. Actually, it's right next. Yes, Avengers. Terrible sales. I'm not gonna lie.
I heard it's actually a really good game.
It is a very good game, but the thing is that the sales have not outputted of how much they've put into that game.
Well, because it's like that wasn't the game they released wasn't actually still the full game.
Well, yeah, it's a beta.
Because they're still updating the whole. They're still bringing updates because I think the most recent update that they brought, Phoenix told me. And they brought a character, which is pretty much the female version of Hawkeye. Mm-hmm. I forgot her name when he told me.
I can't remember what her name is either.
I didn't even know that she was a hero.
Yep.
But and then soon they're bringing in Spider-Man,
Yep.
Only PlayStation though. Microsoft does not get Spider-Man and Avengers at all.
Spider-Man's PlayStation
And
game.
that's the only reason why, because Sony's like, no, we own him. Fuck you.
Yeah.
No, but
Sony for the win.
And they're
promising a lot more content.
They said Phoenix said something about someone else added or something. I don't. That a character.
Regardless, they have promised.
They have
promised a lot of new content.
Yeah.
I have heard, and that'll definitely drive up their sales. I'm sure. We had some technical difficulties, so obviously we were in different outfits. It is a day after yesterday that we planned on doing this, but regardless, we're gonna get it done because streaming things are dumb.
Stop recording our voice for some reason.
Yep. Like, you're just seeing us do hand movements and body movements. There's no sound. What kind of bullshit is that? But to continue on from our gaming section, bots are probably the reason why you are not able to get a next gen system. People are going out of their way to buy bots just so that they can buy the systems and then third party sell them for even way more money than what they're worth.
I've seen that around, yeah.
Yeah, because what are they selling them now for? Like what, $1,200 just for a PS5?
Some people sell it for $1,200, $950. You know, they just higher up the price.
Is it?
It's trying to people get it. It's like, nah, I'm just gonna
wait
till
I'll wait.
Just to pay the $500. I'd rather pay the $500.
Just to pay the $500. I'll wait.
Yeah.
I'll wait. Next, new Batman movie is still on the session of next year to the year after. They haven't really decided yet on when they're going to release it, but due to COVID regulations, apparently they just said fuck it and just decided to keep working on the movie, which is pretty cool. You know, Batman fans would probably be pretty pissed if we gotta wait till 2024 to watch it. So
that would be dumb.
That would be super dumb. I like, dude. I don't know if I got another 4 years to wait for a Batman movie. Like shit. Like I like Robert Pattinson. Don't get me wrong, but you know, 5 years. Goddamn.
Yeah, it's like waiting for GTA 6.
Dude, we're not gonna get that till we're like 60. It's like how we were waiting on the last Tool album. Thinking that we're gonna be 70 years old before we get the last Tool album. Next, Mandalorian season 2. I have not watched all of it. Neither has Rethwell. He's actually really far behind compared to what I am, but he's not too far. But regardless, continue on.
I heard fans are really liking the actress that's playing Ahsoka in that show.
Yeah, Rosario Dawson.
Yeah.
Yep.
I heard that she's actually doing a really good job.
She's a good actor. Not gonna lie, I like actually her in a lot of her movies. She does a fantastic job. I also saw something today too where apparently they actually named him instead of Baby Yoda.
Oh really?
Yep, it's like Groku or something like that. Groka. Yeah.
Groku.
Yeah.
Like,
interesting.
Like Goku.
I'm still gonna call it Baby Yoda. I don't give a fuck what the hell the name is anyway. But I'm still. That's pretty cool how they at least named it. So. Let's see here. What's next? Super Bowl is going cashless. I'm assuming we are assuming due to COVID, so you can take all your cash there, get a prepaid card, pay for everything on a card. Seems pretty simple. Not gonna lie, and pretty thoughtful for at least not trying to get people sick. So, tis another thing.
That's interesting.
Showtime developing a Halo TV series. HBO is developing a Last of Us series. And then Amazon Prime is doing a Lord of the Rings series, a prequel series, and
Isn't someone also doing Assassin's Creed?
Netflix. I think Netflix is doing Assassin's Creed, and they're also doing Percy Jackson too. Completely off topic of games, but regardless, that's pretty cool. Excited, even if I gotta spend $100 just to get freaking Amazon Prime Video.
Yeah.
Next, Dwayne The Rock Johnson is redoing the Scorpion King movies. It's an eh. Yeah, I mean, it's exciting, especially if The Rock is gonna be in it, because I didn't like any of the after ones because they were all a bunch of unnotable people that I can't even think of off the top of my head.
I guess it's cool because it was the first movie he's ever done, so.
And honestly, it was a pretty kick-ass movie.
It was a good movie.
Very good movie. Very, indeed. A technology called sound beaming. Is a new thing that an Israeli company is developing to where it's ultrasonic waves it's a device that pinpoints your ears and it shoots ultrasonic waves so only you can hear your music, video games, movies, anything you can think of. And that's pretty innovative for the future. I'm not gonna lie. Like Rethwell is sitting right next to me and he's playing COD and I'm playing COD. freaking we're just meshing all of our sounds and stuff like that, it gets kind of annoying. So I think that's pretty cool. I definitely think it'll definitely change a lot of aspects of how people do a lot of things. Maybe they'll even make it mobile to where they're even in headphones, so nobody can hear your outsource of headphones.
That's pretty cool. I didn't know that.
Bentley is most likely, they have not confirmed this yet, but they're trying to go all electric. That is, I feel, is another thing that's really cool, just because especially with this whole climate thing that everybody wants to argue about, and especially since we pulled out of that climate Paris Accord, so now it's kind of makes people think about what they can do for the future, which is really cool because people should definitely be taking care of the earth and not destroying it. And oil is very ridiculous to fight over. We fight however many countries we fought over freaking oil, and yet here we are. Still doing it.
Still doing it.
Still standing strong, America! Let's see.
We try our best.
We do try our best, but a lot of countries hate us.
Yeah.
they really
Look
do.
at the people who's been, running the country, though.
Yeah, and they mostly blame it on that, which I can agree.
They can't agree on anything.
Well, look at us. We can't even agree on you being a different color if you were. Or, or freaking my next door neighbor possibly being gay or something. They're just oh, that's not right.
People can't agree on anything.
Well, what can you do? Greedy. Next, SpaceX has launched their rocket November 15th. Elon Musk doing his own dang thing. He really does not give a fuck about what people think or what they do. Power to you, Elon Musk. You keep prospering on making the future better for us, and we hope to be able to maybe get to Mars. I would like to go to space travel. I think that'd be pretty cool.
That would be. Yeah.
You think you'd be able to do it?
I don't know.
See, you don't like heights. I don't know if you'd really be able to handle it.
Yeah, no. I'd probably pass out.
They're probably gonna send you into hypersleep anyway. So, Nintendo files a lawsuit against a Amazon seller that is selling Game Sharks. If you don't remember what that is, Game Sharks were like a little thing you could put in your DS or Game Boy. Put it in, then you can just hack it however the heck you want. If you want all the legendaries in Pokemon, Game Shark can give it to you. But with this, obviously they're pirating newer games, and especially when they spend millions and millions of dollars just making games that we love for throughout the entire years of even remakes, is that it really kind of hurts them a little bit just because people can find a way to get anything free. It is really easy to get a lot of things for free, but eventually it'll come bite you in the ass. All right, now we're on to the funsy, weirdo news, heartfelt stuff that just makes you want to feel good, or even it's just really cool to talk about. Around the 1st of November, there was an asteroid that passed by that was made completely of iron and nickel, worth $10 quintillion. And if you don't know how many zeros that is, that's 19 zeros. It's a lot of fucking zeros.
Yeah, I didn't
even know that was a number. Yeah. What the heck is a quintillion? 19 zeros, apparently.
Huh. What is 50?
Gajillion, billion, gazmillion.
I always remember saying those as kids, but I didn't know those were actually real numbers.
Math finds a way.
Something that I never understood and never will. Math.
What's 2 + 2?
4.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say fish.
I was thinking about it.
Go with your gut. The possibility of us living in a simulation is a 50-50 chance. If a more technical number would be 50.2 to 49.8. That is a pretty weird, odd way of explaining it, but there's a possibility that we could be living in simulation. My gosh, I can't speak today.
Simulation.
You want a cup of tea?
You want a cup of tea?
Would you like a cup of tea?
Please, sir, I would like some more.
Please, sir, may I have some more? Let's see here. So when Trump was wanting a recount, it actually takes a lot of money to do a recount, and it's about $4 million just to do a recount. And I'm always wondering where the heck America pulls out half of this cash anyway.
Yeah.
Especially if we're in debt.
We're
$7 trillion? $8 trillion? Yeah, something like that.
A lot of money.
It's probably
changed
changed over the course of years.
The amount of money it is, so that's how you know it is a lot.
It's a lot of zeros, as we said earlier. It's a lot of zeros. McDonald's is releasing a meatless burger to compete with Burger King. Probably not to compete, but soy burgers and all that stuff have been a really big thing lately. Me personally, I didn't really like the Impossible Burger. I probably wouldn't go out of my way to go get it again. I'll probably try the McDonald's one once. We'll see how it is. I mean, it's probably not. It's not real anyway. It's probably just half of your hamburger meat anyway. So
Yeah, for real.
4 teens were accused of running over a mother, having an altercation with another teen about some love affair that they're having. I have no explanation for this. Honestly, that chick is probably not worth your time if you're running over another teen's mother to prove a point. So we're just gonna leave it at that. Stupid.
People are just so stupid nowadays.
People find any reason to get pissed off, and it's ridiculous. Kodak Black and other celebrities were giving out their thanks during Thanksgiving, of giving out Thanksgiving turkeys and a bunch of other stuff for hungry families. This is really cool. People are always complaining about, it's notoriety. I mean,
they could just be doing it for the
betterment. Some people, if people know that they got the money to spend it, why not give it to other people? I mean, it would only seem like the most logical thing that you could do for some people, those that could be fans of them, or anything like that, to actually have like actual appreciation coming from their favorite celebrities if they do like them. And I understand, as I was saying earlier, I guess I get the whole point of notoriety, but look at how, like with Tech 9 of last Christmas, he bought a bunch of toys for a bunch of kids, and yet nobody knew anything about it until after Christmas.
Right.
So I feel if in any way, shape, or form, they're feeling heartfelt about their fans and other people that are in need, which is really cool. Cracker Barrel had to, apologizes for a cord that was shaped like a noose that was pointed out by a customer in Connecticut. Again, I don't really have a comment for this. And if anything, it could have just been some other customer that tied it into a noose. So really, there's no way, shape, or form of us knowing of how it could have possibly happened. But at least they're taking the time to be like, okay, this is an issue. We should probably stop, or we should apologize for this.
I think just see something and just like, I gotta say something. This is not good. They're just taking it out of context.
They're pulling a Karen move.
Yeah, they just, I don't know.
Fucking Karens. New York City is supposed to be projected back into full tourism by 2024, 2025. This really makes you think about how long we might be dealing with this COVID thing. So, be safe.
Probably till we're dead.
We're still dealing with Zika, SARS, and everything else, and yet apparently it's not a big problem anymore. It's because that we took one H1N1 shot back in like 2009. But
yeah,
we're powering through it.
Oh God.
A New York City man recording a music video got arrested for using a flamethrower on top of a bus.
I thought this was cool.
It's pretty cool, but
I'd do it.
But he got arrested for endangering the passengers of the bus because apparently nobody knew anything about it.
Oh, okay.
And so then,
makes sense.
I feel like if it were to that thing, you should probably go get something like, hey, can I do this on top of a bus? While it's going. But
no one's gonna agree to that, so you might as well just go and.
Here's some money and let me do this.
Yeah. Maybe he was broke.
That could be.
That's why he's hoping for that one music video.
Yeah, that one music video.
That one music video to pop off and him be rich.
A 9-year-old boy survives in the forest for 3 days after an altercation with his parents. It wasn't really listed about what he possibly was having a fight with his parents for. But in all regardless, it's at least nice to know that he's still alive. Well, he's a little hungry and cold when they found him, but after a 3-day search, I would expect that, but at least he's okay. Next. City Winery, a restaurant in New York City, is charging $50 for on-site contact testing of COVID. Then you get to go inside the restaurant and eat.
No. You just go to the doctors.
Yeah. It's on-site testing to see if you can go in and eat. Wait 2 weeks to see if you can go in and eat. People are going to pick and choose, especially since
just
people
order in then, or just
order out. Just order it to go,
buy groceries, man.
Yeah, or go buy groceries. That might save you a lot of money.
I guess if you're in a place where you can't go do it, I don't know.
New York City's a big place. They got all these different mandates and lockdowns things going on.
You probably have so many Uber Eats drivers around New York City. Why can't you just?
Oh, I bet Uber Eats is making a killing off this.
So I don't know why. I don't know.
A 74-year-old man. Yeah, exactly. A 74-year-old man in Florida fights an alligator to protect his dog. That guy is a badass.
For real.
All I gotta say. No comment. No comment.
Chubbs would be proud.
Chubbs off of Happy Gilmore would be proud.
Very proud.
He didn't, because that old man did not lose a hand. It's made out of wood. Real sturdy.
Then it gets run over by a fucking semi-truck.
Don't worry, I got spares at home. A professor in the University of Iowa makes Thanksgiving meals for students and teachers that cannot travel for the holidays. Really heartfelt. Really awesome that she's really going out of her way to make all this different types of food for a bunch of different people. Kudos to you, teacher. I know she's a girl, not dude. A silver monolith was found in Utah in the desert. A silver monolith, it's like, so, like the Washington, D.C. monument?
Yeah.
That's considered a monolith. But it's completely made out of, like, maybe it's completely made out of silver, or they, like, coated it or something like that. Okay. But they just found it in the desert. And nobody really knows where it came from, and it looks really alien-y, and especially since we like aliens. Like, we believe in aliens. If you don't believe in aliens, it's completely fine, but, aliens! But apparently it was a possibility of it might have been, like, an art site that someone was trying to do, but nobody really knows. Just one of those kind of cool things. Let's see here. Next, Elon Musk surpasses Bill Gates from being the second richest man in the world, right behind
Jeff Bezos. Jeff Bezos, because last time, Jeff Bezos of Amazon, because last time I tried to talk about Jeff Bezos, I called him Timmy. But as we said before earlier, Elon Musk doing his thing, power to you. There's a controversy in the natives of America, obviously, but people are cultivating sage illegally, and apparently you have to have a permit to cultivate sage, which I did not know was a thing. So if you are one of those people that go out of your way to buy sage, make sure you know it comes from a real reliable source and it's not being taken, because I'm sure that would probably cause a big controversy. I mean, hey, you might even get a reward out of it if you turn them in. Who knows? $50 for anybody that turns in an illegal sage cultivator. And last but not least, because Florida never seems to not disappoint, Florida man thaws a Thanksgiving turkey in a pool. I don't know how he does it. I have so many questions.
I got a lot of questions to ask that man. I really hope that turkey did not taste like chlorine, because I'm sure all of them probably got bleach poisoning.
Like really warm or like what?
Florida, warm temperature.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it has chemicals in it. Even if the turkey does have plastic casing over it, I'd be worried that bitch would be tasting like chlorine.
Like a pool that they had.
Or unless they just made their own pool.
Yeah, like like most of their their own pools, they still have the shit in them. Mm-hmm. But some people don't have it in there, so maybe they didn't have that chemical stuff in there. Who knows?
But even still, why a pool? Like, you got a sink in your kitchen for a reason.
Yeah.
I mean, take it out a week prior just to make sure that bitch thaws. Like, what the hell?
Yeah, I don't know, man.
But I mean, hey, I'm sure he was able to.
I'm sure it tasted good.
Yep. Well, I mean, if it doesn't taste like chlorine and bleach,
or piss, because people pee in pools.
What? He's just thawing it in a public pool. Like, here you go. Like, I need to thaw this. Hope this is okay.
People that were over in his pool could have peed in it too.
True.
Unless if he didn't have the thing in there, unless there's a thing that changes the water.
The watercolor.
The watercolor, like.
They put a chemical in the pool that turns your pee blue, right? Ah, that's just a mist, sweetie.
Yeah.
They're all just swimming in blue.
Yeah.
Gross. And that makes me not even want to go swim in a pool now. This is disgusting.
I haven't swum in a public pool in a while.
Yeah.
I don't even like swimming because I don't know how to swim. So, I go.
I'll go to chill, but I mean, if I drown, I drown.
I'm staying in the shallow end, and if we're swimming out farther, just know I'm struggling.
I'm staying in the 3 foot end, guys.
Better give me a noodle or some floaties, man. Otherwise, I ain't going.
Just seeing you doggy paddle with a noodle across like 12 feet.
I do it. Hell yeah.
As long as you just don't drown, that's okay.
Exactly.
But all right, that is the end of our news segment. Hope you guys enjoyed our content. Please tell me if there's any other news that we missed that seems very important. Otherwise, make sure to be submitting news. If you know some news that you'd like to see on video, we will definitely throw it in our next.
And talk about it.
Next time, it won't be a whole month. we'll make sure to do it at least in like a week or 2 time period, because a month is a lot of news. And
yeah, because apparently a lot happens just in a fucking week now.
Yeah, no, and seeing that's the thing is that
in
nobody
24 hours, like so many things just happen.
Well, I mean, no, exactly. Like if with half of these stories that we could have told, like, you know, people probably would have like, oh, I remember that, but yet they forgot. You know, like, it might never hurts for a good refresher.
Yeah.
And so, and especially like news is important if you want to keep up on a lot of things. You know, at least take it with your own grain of salt. You know, obviously don't just be like, oh, the news said this, so I gotta believe this, because we all know that the media is very manipulative about how they want you to think about things, and or you know, if you're left or right, you know, Democratic, Republican, religious, scientific, you know, it all changes.
Scientology,
you know?
man.
Scientology. But, you know, as I said, take it as you will. Make sure you at least do your research. It did take us quite a while. And if we miscommunicated anything, make sure to do it in the comments. We're not going to get mad. I mean, it'll get a little salty, but, you know.
It's okay.
It's okay. It doesn't hurt to be wrong. It doesn't hurt to be wrong at all. All right. Like, comment, subscribe, share. Please let us know what you think. And I hope you guys have a fantastic night. I hope you guys had a safe holiday, too.
Yeah.
And hopefully your turkey
guys.
Hopefully your turkey did not taste like chlorine.